Hello everyone, I am Dana. Welcome back to my shop and to this next project video. What prompted this particular project was a good friend of mine where he runs a little furniture shop, and it's where I get my lumber. It's where I get my cutting board, hardwoods, and I get some occasional pine and hemlock there. But anyway, I walk in his shop this morning and he hands me two things. He hands me this hunk of messed up black walnut and a note. I'll show it to you here. You can see what it says there. Now, he says, I need you to carve this for me. And I said, in this? Well, I guess it'll fit. You want it that small? He goes, no, I'll give you another piece of wood. But I was walking by the bin and I remembered I threw this in there, he said, so I wanted you to have it. He said, I know you'll make something cool out of it. Well, you know what? I think I will, honestly. I'm doing a bunch of cutting boards for an inlay series that I'm going to be producing or going to be releasing in February, and I can use this for the feet that hold the cutting boards up on the counter. I'm going to be firing up the Longmill laser and Lightburn, and we're going to get started. So stay with us. Hey, before we go any further, once again, I want to say thank you to this week's sponsor, CNC Labs, the makers of the Longmill benchtop CNC, just like this one that we have here in our shop. Now, I have the 48-inch extension on my original Longmill that I purchased 2 years ago. I have loved this machine in my shop, and I'm sure you will too. Go to their website, cnc.com, and check out this awesome machine. Thank you so much. Now let's get back to our video. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to come up here and open Lightburn. So I'm going to show you exactly what I created. Typed up everything that I needed to type up, including the C7. I did that, and of course I like this type of font. But what I want to show you is how you can take one of those oval plaques. Like, you know, you can buy an oval plaque already done at Walmart. They sell those things and just about anywhere. But if you own a Longmill, you could make your own oval plaque, and you can make it any size you want. I've made several over the past couple years just to give to people for their deer head mounts, for, you know, awards that they might want to give. And, you know, I've done a few carvings and I haven't really gone ahead and done a video on it until now. So the reason I want to show you this is because I think it's important that in Lightburn I show you how you can create things just by getting a few measurements off of that piece of wood. Now, I didn't make that piece of wood. That piece of wood was made by my friend in the furniture store, and he gave it to me to carve this, what you're seeing on the screen. What I did was I just took a couple dimensions. Now, I don't know if it's a perfect oval or not. At this point, I just basically got the major dimensions, the height and the width, and I'll show you how to do that. So I'm gonna kind of like move that aside there. I'm just gonna draw right in here. First thing I did was I measured the outside width and height, and I drew an oval. Now, I know that the best way to do an oval is to have the lock on for aspect ratio, because it'll give you a true, a true oval. But I don't know if this was made in a true oval fashion. So what I'm doing is just going to put the dimensions in with an unlocked aspect ratio. And those dimensions are 7 inches on the width and 11 inches on the height. And that is the absolute exterior of my oval. Now, I want to go over here to this little arrow and click on that, and that'll give me a selection there. Then what I want to do is you notice that on the board it has that cove mold, and I want to just duplicate that. So what we're going to do is, I realize that it's 1 inch smaller, so we're going to do 1/2 inch offset. Now that is the very top. This right here is your cove mold. Now within here is where you want to put your text. So I'm going to show you how you can take this particular text and center it on here. And then I'm going to show you how you can go to your Longmill, find the center, this particular center here, and carve exactly where you need to carve on this. I'm going to show you a little trick that I use, and it works every time without fail. I am going to tell you that for this, I'm doing it in cherry. So for this, I'm changing my power to 20. We're going to do 100 inches a minute, and I'm going to do 20 power, and we're going to be on the fill mode. Okay, so if you look here, let me get rid of this. But that, that gave you an idea of how to create that. If I just turn everything on here, you can see exactly what I've created. I wasn't sure if he wanted this inside border, this border here that I'm highlighting. I wasn't sure if he wanted me to carve that, and only because of the way he wrote his note to me. So I put it in there just in case, and he didn't want it. So therefore, I can get rid of that. We're just gonna shut the output off and not show it. But the simple way for you to center all this within this shape right here, that is your carving area shape. The simplest way is to draw within there, and then you can select everything. You have it the way you want it. You can select everything, hit the shift key, select this border, and come up here, and you can align horizontally in center, and then you can come over here and align vertically in center. Let's say, for example, I've got all 3 of these are over here and up there. Okay, what you do is, and this is important, I'm going to show you this. You select all these, and then you select where you want this to go. Do not do the opposite way. Shift key, hit that, come up here, hit center, hit your horizontal center, and what did I do wrong? I'll tell you what I did wrong. I forgot to group the parts. So let's go back, okay, and we'll group the parts. Don't forget to group the parts. Otherwise, it's gonna do what it just did. So you select your text, whatever it is you're carving, shift key, select where you want it to go, then come up and do your centers. And there you go. It's simple, really simple. Now I'm going to show you if you do this the opposite way. Let's say, for example, you do this and this, Okay. Assuming it's going to let me select that. Thank you. It's going to move this circle over here. There you go. You do not want it to do that. Now, if that happens, you can either go back button, or you can just have all this selected now. Click on this, but you need to group this. This needs to be a group. So you would group this, and then you would select your outer border, hit the shift key, and then go back to your align center, and voila, it's back in place. Or you can just hit your back button. Really cool tool. I like the way this all works. You can take an odd shaped piece that someone has given you or that you've created and place your text exactly where you want it. And let's go to the mill now, and I'll show you how I get my Longmill to go right to this project and carve it perfectly in place. So let's take a look at that now. Before we get into actually showing you how I mounted and did all that and lined this up, I thought I'd give you a view of the actual carving. This is like 60 times the normal speed, so it's pretty doggone quick. Now right here is normal speed, so it took me a while. It was probably a half hour that it took to engrave this whole. Okay, engraving is all done, and oh my gosh, I am always amazed at how this thing does what it does. Always amazed. Never gets old for me. I don't care if I'm using the router or I'm using the laser. Gosh, it just never gets old. Look at how beautiful that came out. Yeah, I could have got fancier, I guess, but this is for an Amish friend of mine. Yeah, they aren't all about fancy. They just wanted to give the people at the medical center on the C7 section a big thank you for everything they did for them and their family. And I think it's pretty cool that they do stuff like this. This is one of many that I've done, and it's actually the first one I've gone ahead and recorded and actually shown, because I kind of I respect, you know, their privacy, and I did ask, and they're okay with me doing this. So I wanted you to see this and see the process that it took to create this and see how simple it is. Now you can take a number of shapes, different kinds of shapes, and draw them kind of in a rough format if you need to, and then place them on your Longmill in the correct location so that you can put all the text that you want to engrave and the artwork and all that within there in one spot and have it be perfect when it's done. Now what I'm going to show you now is what I did to locate this particular board. I already showed you the tutorial, but I'm going to show you what I did when I came over to the Longmill. Basically, when I drew this file, I put it 16 inches in to its center. The whole file that I had in there, I located on the x-axis 16 inches in, which put it right here, okay? And I did 9 inches up, which put it right here to the center. Then what I did was I took this particular piece of wood, and you can see I drew an oval on it. And that is the exact size of the board that I just carved on or just engraved on. And I just put it on here. The machine drew the oval, which is exactly where the engraving needs to go. I put the board in that oval, left to right, front to back, and I was so confident I hit start. And totally forgot that I had used that particular layer to cut through some 3mm plywood that I had. And I had 10 passes on there, and I'm like, holy cow. So I had to change that, but one pass, 20% at 100 inches a minute, and it was just simply perfect. Now, because my friend owns a furniture store, I'm not going to finish this. He's going to finish it. But I'm going to get a picture of it and share that with you here at the very end. So, hey, I appreciate everybody watching this. I hope you enjoyed the little tip that I gave you there and enjoyed the fact that this had a story. And everything has a story, basically, but this one is kind of hits home with a lot of people. And, you know, too often we find our children fighting a battle that they don't need to fight. And I said I wasn't going to get emotional, but you know what? By this family doing this for those nurses and those doctors on C7 means the world to them. They work hard. I'll tell you what, I'm passionate about what I do. I hope that you figured that out by now. So I have to ask, if you liked this video, click that like button. If you haven't subscribed to my channel and you want to see more content, I am going to be making a ton of content this year. A ton. Well, not a ton, like in real weight, but a lot. I'm going to do a lot more. I've committed to doing that, and I'm going to do it. So go ahead and subscribe. And there's a little bell icon right next to it on the right-hand side. That means you can click that, and it will notify, YouTube will notify you via email or however you choose when I post another video. So if you want that to happen, click that notification bell. Hey guys, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this. Be safe out there.